Tonight, an unbelievable story of a man who nearly became a full organ donor, even though he was still alive. It's hard to believe. So our son, Dr. Sanjay Gupta went to Kentucky to investigate for himself. He joins us now. Sanjay?
I got to tell you, this is one of those stories that was really hard to tell, and I hesitated to tell it because I worry that there might be some erosion of trust in the organ donation system. You got 100,000 people who are on the list, 17 people die every day. But I think it was pretty clear as well that some pretty significant reforms may be necessary.
Tell me about that day.
We were there saying our goodbyes. That was it. We felt like we were doing the right thing as a family, and they were trying to kill him. We had made the decision to remove him from life support because we were told, he was brain dead.
What you are watching is the Honor Walk. It's one of the most revered traditions in a hospital. It's when family, friends, and staff all pay their respects as someone is wheeled off to give the ultimate gift, donation of their organs.
It's okay.
Except this man, T.J. Hoover, was still very much alive.
So out of respect for more and for the patients, trying to see if we can stop recording at this time.
I think organ donation is a beautiful, life-saving gift when it's done ethically. I was just scrolling through TikTok about different kind of donation stories, and there was a little search bar across the bottom that said he woke up during his honor walk. So I watched it, and the people looked familiar, the hospital looked familiar, and I said, this is our donor. I don't know if it makes me more sad or pissed off. I don't know. It's a very emotional thing for me because nobody should have to go through that. And I just feel like there were so many opportunities for someone to step in and say, we're not doing the right thing.
Nikki Martin worked for Kentucky Organ Donor Affiliates, or CODA. It's known as an organ procurement organization, responsible for recovering organs from deceased donors. Nikki was so disturbed by what happened to TJ that she penned a letter to Congress, trying to bring more attention to cases like his.
I believe in organ donation and have devoted much of my life to it. However, in too many parts of the country, like Kentucky, it's unsafe, and I'm pleading with the government to change that.
Do you remember when you were driving to the hospital that day? What did you hear that sort of triggered as the alarm bells?
The tracking with his eyes and moving around, trying to pull his tube out, trying to move his hands away, just all of the reflexes that he had. Normally our DCD donors don't have those kinds of reflexes, and they're not awake, and they're not conscious of what's going on. So it was kind of really shocking for all of us to know that CODA's admin was pushing to continue.
Is this money? I mean, is that the incentive fundamentally?
I think for CODA it is, or for any OPO, they're paid for the organs.
You think of organs as being a gift of life, but what you're describing is a big money-making operation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, you think, what sort of incentivized that push?
Yes.
In a statement to CNN, Network of Hope said that CODA does not, quote, receive financial incentives based on the number of organs recovered, and that its focus is on compassion, not on pressure. Baptist Health Hospital wrote to CNN that they work closely with our patients and their families to ensure patients' wishes for organ donation are followed. And CODA said it reviewed the case and remains confident that accepted DCD practices and approved protocols were followed. When asked about the specific accusations by Nikki, CODA said she was not present in the hospital and added, this case has been inaccurately represented by individuals never involved in the case.
So we did track down someone who was in the operating room that day and did see what happened firsthand. Her name is Natasha Miller. She's a transplant perfusionist, and I'm driving to see her now. From what I understand, he was mouthing the word no and pushing hands away and things like that.
Yes, he was very aware. The pronouncing physician comes in, and when she comes in, she walks back out and she says, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this case. I don't feel comfortable. The organ coordinator that was there, she steps out to call the supervisor at the time to tell him that the pronouncing physician was refusing to do the case. She said that he was yelling at her, telling her she needed to find another physician to come.
And she's like, there is no one. There's no one else to come do this case.
Is there any part of this that makes sense to you? Is any part of this defensible?
No, because it seemed like at first they were saying, well, family consented. And I get that. But again, it seems like family wasn't made fully aware of his actual state. None of it makes sense. We should have never went to OR.
About an hour and 15 minutes later, the doctor come out, got us, and told us to pull up a chair. She said, he's not ready. He woke up.
That's right. That's TJ, who is now home.
I just want to check your strength here. Can you pull your hand towards your face? Try and touch your nose. That's pretty strong. Good. How about with this hand? Can you do it here? I know you told me that his first thing that he really remembers is being in the operating room and having all these people around him. But have you been able to explain to him everything that happened the same way you explained it to me?
I have.
How does he react?
Why did they want to kill me? Of course, he remembers he was an organ donor, and he has survivor's guilt. He's like, all of these people thought they were going to get to live. Lift. Right? Lift. I was a registered organ donor, and I'm not anymore.
Really? Because you don't trust the system?
I don't trust the system.
What is TJ's life like now?
He wasn't supposed to make it a year, if he made it. Hold your head up, bub.
For TJ, it's not just about being alive, but living and getting to be a part of these moments. Like walking his sister down the aisle. And meeting Nikki for the very first time.
Hi, TJ. Do you know how special you are? You don't. You're pretty special, bud. So many reasons.
You survived, bub.
You're my hero, TJ.
I mean, this story is incredible. I've actually signed up to be an organ donor. How is TJ doing?
Yeah, and I signed up to be an organ donor as well, just to be clear, because I know, again, I worry about this erosion of trust. He's doing really well. You know, the most remarkable thing is that he kind of felt bad that he did not get a chance to donate his organs.
Wow.
Because it was like one of those things where he felt he could have saved so many lives. I think what's really at the heart of this story are people who are just marginalized. He went in as a person who had overdosed on drugs. Mm. His sister, they felt that maybe she didn't understand everything that was going on, and I feel like they sort of were taken advantage of a bit in the system. But he's doing really well. There's a huge investigation that's now going on by the Kentucky Attorney General's office. And I'll tell you, sadly, there are other incidents like this in other states that are now starting to come to light, Anderson.
Just incredible. I'm so glad you did this. Thanks, Sanjay.
And next, a preview of Anderson's moving conversation with actress, author, and mental health advocate Ashley Judd. She talks about the grief she has faced since her mother, country music star Naomi Judd, died by suicide. A preview of Anderson's podcast, All There Is, coming up.